that. He said it wasn't.
No. I said that according to Eric's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting into some intense discussion over here. Thank you so much. All right, we are thumbs up for our Facebook Live work session today. I apologize. So just obviously we're in a work session arena here, so we'll call a meeting to order. And I have on the agenda a presentation of the updated personnel policy manual. You may scratch through that. That will be the next board meeting. We will have the presentation of the updated policy manual, and then we will vote on it that first meeting in January, so that gives everybody plenty of time to take a look at it. So this will be much shorter than I had anticipated.
I could use that time.
I thought you could use that time for what?
Tell everybody what I want for Christmas.
I think not.
We know.
This is a work session. This is a work session. So, having said that, this will again be a much shorter presentation than I had expected. We will do simply the agenda, and we will work through that here post haste, so everyone can be on their way. We can say that Starkville High School is going to be playing tomorrow night up in Oxford at the Walt Hemingway. Yeah, this is Friday, right? Yes, Saturday. 7 o'clock, I believe it is? 7:30, okay. And I think we're providing an escort, are we not, Chief?
Yes, ma'am.
We're providing an escort up there for the team, so we wish them the very best and anticipate them bringing home a trophy. Absolutely. All right. Okay, well, with that, let's go. We've got 2 sets of minutes. Mr. Huskisson, you have looked at those, and those are to your liking. Ms. Harden, you're good with those? Can we get consent for those 2 items? One's a work session, and one's a regular session. Mayor's comments, I understand we don't have any introductions, but if something comes up, we'll obviously make comments, and maybe we'll have a win to talk about. So, anything the board members want to put on the agenda? None? Okay. We've got 4 public hearings. These are all related to, interestingly enough, a single tax parcel, but 4 different addresses, street addresses. So we have 201 Ruth Road, 245 Ruth Road, 305 Ruth Road, and 325 Ruth Road. These are all dilapidated structures that are in the annexed territory, the newly annexed territory in the Clayton Village area. So we'll be able to see those, and that presentation will be obviously on Tuesday. And will that be Alex or Sarah?
It'll be Sarah.
Be Officer Perez doing that. So, and obviously that's not a consent item. Any questions about that before we move forward? Okay. None of us have any business. The mayor has no business, and the board has no business. So we will go to the people who actually do have business and know what they're talking about. Airport lease. Mr. Lincoln is here. One of the things that they were doing was trying to get some additional Jet A fuel storage. And interestingly enough, and I thought it was very creative, he found a leased jet fuel truck that would provide some of that storage and serve, obviously, as an opportunity to service the aircraft that come into the Bryan Field. So this is a zero lease cost per month. Yes, ma'am?
Can I ask Mr. Lincoln to tell us a little bit more about it? Because while it's a 0 lease cost, we are responsible for insurance, taxes, maintenance, those kinds of things. But as I understand it, it's a truck that's in really good condition. It's been recently rehabbed.
From Titan Aviation, it has, and they will cover the engine and transmission.
The expensive things.
And they put brand new fuel hoses on it for us, and they're good for 10 years.
Okay.
The nozzles are good. We haven't run the truck yet to see, but the other trucks, we have a split maintenance agreement with them as well. If stuff wear and tear items, we replace batteries, nozzles, same on this truck. So, but we have to pay for those each month, and this one, since we sell so much fuel, they said, we'll just do a 0 lease with y'all.
So it will be a really minimal cost, not 0 per se, but a minimal cost.
Right.
No monthly cost.
Right.
And insurance, he's going to research whether or not property and liability, since it's not our vehicle. So see what that is. So, but anyway.
It's a good-looking truck. I have seen it.
Okay. Good. Used the fuel out? Well, you haven't yet.
No,
you don't have it yet.
we've not used
unless
that
you've
truck.
used it somewhere else. So, okay. All right. Can we do consent for that one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then under engineering, we have extremely good news, which I want Mr. Burnett to brag about.
I do too.
For number 2.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I flipped them in my mind. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I've got these to pass out. This is for the Sand Road, Annex Road Soul Cement project we did back in August. the board remembers, we had about $1.1 million bid for those 2 roads, for those 4 roads. And it was a good bit over budget. And so what we did is we rejected the bids and re-advertised in November. And so Stephen did a really good job getting the word out and making sure there was a lot of bidders to the project. And so we redid it in 4 bidders instead of 1. And the quote was $700,000, which is $400,000 less, and we've added a road as well. So we essentially got a savings of about $500,000 from the re-advertised and from Stephen drumming up the interest. So
Yeah. Well, and the timing, and I think that's all due to the engineering department and y'all's assessment of the situation. So I want to give you a pat on the back for that, because that's a huge saving.
Thank you.
Absolutely, I think that's awesome. So congratulations on that for all of us. So, and then the advertising for bids for street improvement related projects. So,
Yeah.
anything about those?
No, we are advertising for a term bid. It's almost like a source of swap. It's a little bit different this year. It gives us flexibility on timing. We've been told we can get it out a lot quicker, so we can get a lot better price. If you're trying to get in front of everybody else who's doing everybody work next year.
Yes.
So we would have term bids for striping or overlay milling and even some of the preservation methods we discussed. So.
Okay. Mr. Beatty?
Mr. Burnett, one of the things you and I discussed is that one of the things would be a laid in place or a linear foot stripe, paint striping bid, right? Somebody, a contractor, somebody come in and just paint streets for us. I'm not talking about the tall stuff. I'm talking about just paint on streets. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. So that's the idea, is you would take the striping out underneath the asphalt contractor,
Right,
have this
right.
on guide, you'd have all of your thermoplastic stop bars, crosswalks, and then just the paint would get included.
Because we have streets now that need stripe. Well, if we have one of those type of contracts in place, you call them and say, we got X number of linear feet or X number of streets, and they figure it out, they do it, and on the contract, we have a set price per linear foot or whatever for that type of stripe. Okay.
And one more ancillary benefit is, for example, the downtown trenching that we did this year. If we had to set up, you could have an item just for trenching, and you could call them and tell them to come just for that. So it's not grouped within this bigger project. If utilities needs to patch Old West Point Road, we can call them and have them come just do that project. So a lot of benefit.
Okay.
Flexible.
Well done. Yes, sir.
As we talk about completion of I guess tentative completion of the water sewer project, February. Mr. Kim?
Yes.
We'll come back at that point in time and at least pave get our trenches paved back and stuff like we've done on Main Street and stuff.
Yes, sir.
And that's where the striping thing would come in. Even if we're not gonna overlay the street for a while, we can still come back to a center stripe. We might need to redefine our parking places and stuff, even in the temporary, while we wait for something else to come along.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So consent for both of those items? Good? Okay. Then claims docket we will pass over, and HR. We have the holiday schedule, which is pretty much as it has been. It's just different days because it's a different year. So, and with the governor, if the governor provides authority for us on the other ones. So if that's good, consent for that one. And then all these positions, Mr. Ashford, are replacement?
Yes, ma'am.
And budgeted, is that correct? So we have, and we have one transfer, I guess it'd be more like it, for Officer Nash to transfer to a certified police officer, and Mr. Steenwick as a code enforcement officer. So consent for those?
Yes, let me ask this, if Officer Nash goes to police officer, we're gonna place the code person.
Yes, that's the next one on the list. So yes, that would be Mr. Steenwick going to code enforcement officer, and there's going to be some overlap so they can do some training. Okay, all right. And then, last but not least, is utilities, and I don't know where Mr. Kemp is, to be perfectly honest. I think he's back in town. I haven't seen him, and I haven't texted him. So this is the purchase of transformers, much like we've done in the past on the presidential, what is it, the presidential authorization, emergency authorization. So consent for that one. And then we will have a litigation update and then personnel matter in executive session on Tuesday evening. So that pretty well covers it. And I believe Mr. Ashford is going to provide you those personnel matters in your, or to Lisa to put in your packet, even though the time has not yet run for the grievance process to be completed. So that will be available to you, however. So if there's anybody, we're kind of floating really quick here. Anybody have anything they need? Anything we want to talk about? All right, well, thank you very much, everyone. We are adjourned.
Legit, they came all the way down here.
I can